not tell you that this year Saturday, Fifi Mathambo will be there. Yeah, making content. Because what do you mean Adam and Eve are not gathering at the Garden of Eden, and Fifi Mathambo does her unique blend of artistry and strategy to wedding content, to make wedding content, and her expertise in social media, project management, and digital marketing has positions our files as a sought-after brand, attracting both local and international clients. I don't know if I'm going to be international or local, but I know between me and my group, one of us will be balancing the local and the international part. Now, through Fifi Mathambo's leadership, man, she pioneers the wedding day content creation space, and she definitely empowers us as women in the industry, ensuring that every love story is told with intention, creativity, and heart. Fifi, welcome to the Good Life on Yarn FM.
What an introduction! Oh my gosh! I was listening to you like, is she talking about me? Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here.
Doing amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for honoring the invite. I remember the first time I saw your TikTok, I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing.
Right.
And you were so beautiful. I mean, you really are. I think TikTok quality doesn't do you justice.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thanks, Mom.
And you do wedding content creation. Wedding content creation. At what time and after what prayer? Did you sleep and wake up with such a big dream?
Yeah, that's a big dream, especially because there was no one to copy from. There was no,
Right.
I didn't know anyone else who was doing it. Well, I knew someone in Australia, but really completely different market. And so I was like, oh, will people be interested in this? But I thought about how when I attend my family and friends events and weddings, oh, Fifi, can you do content for us? I want to make a cute TikTok after my wedding. And so now I was being invited everywhere. I said, I need to charge someone for this.
Honestly.
And so that's sort of where the business was born from. So like, I realized through my creative agency that I'm making creatives accessible to the ordinary person. But what about like someone on their wedding day? So like not just for your business do you need a creative, you need them on your wedding day.
I like that. Now, for somebody who may not fully understand it, how would you define wedding day content creation, and how is it different from traditional photography and videography?
Good question. I'm often asked that question to be like, oh, but I already have a videographer. It's definitely not the same thing. We're not even in competition with each other. We work alongside one another, but your videographer creates very curated content. They rarely, if ever, shoot vertically. And like I said, I have social media experience, and so I know that people want to share their big moments on social media and they want it to do well. And so because I'm a professional at social media, I also really know how to be able to do that for you for your wedding day. So we tell and share behind the scenes content, little stuff that your videographer is not going to find that aesthetically pleasing. They're not going to want to share that part of the story. It's not really exciting to the average person, or especially for their final curated wedding film, but like a little quick bit for social media. Completely different. So the way we consume content is very different for different platforms, and so I specialize in doing it for social media.
I like that, because even in your explanation, the whole time I'm hearing creativity, strategy, and you blend them so well, so effortlessly. How has your background in digital marketing and project management shaped your way, the way you approach storytelling?
Well, 4 years in film school helped.
4 years in film school definitely helped.
I was in film school for 4 years, and then I've had Full Circle, which is my creative agency, for 5 years now. Started that in COVID, and so like I'm saying, I have professional experience working with brands for their social media, and I just really feel like it should be something that's accessible to just the ordinary person. So, and that's how I guess those skills. Even though I hated school, I hated film school. I said, oh my God, where the hell am I? But honestly, those skills do come in handy because I understand framing a shot very well. I understand telling a story very well. And then on the social media end, because I've done it for a brand, and part of that requires understanding the individual and the person that you're selling to and what they like and how they consume content. I'm just able to do it for people's personal brands as well.
How long does it take for you to understand or get to know and appreciate the bride and what they like and so on? How long does it take? Do you spend weekends before the wedding day?
Absolutely. So usually brides will book me 2 to 3 months before their wedding, and so we have time. So she'll send TikToks. I want to do this TikTok trend, or I like this style. By the time you book me, you kind of already and I guess because there's also never one, you've never been married before most of the time, and two, you don't have, there's not a lot of experience with wedding day content creators, so sometimes there is a little bit of a, I don't know what I want you to do, but I want you to be there. So then that's where I come in and I'll suggest, I'll be like, okay, you know, like I always ask the bride and groom to tell me your love story. How did you guys meet? Tell me your favorite song right now. What makes you guys feel like, oh, this is our song? So by the time they get their edits and their like recap vlog of the day, it feels like it's a story that's personal to them.
Oh, girl, you're about to drop me and throw me in the relationship that I don't want to be in. That's such a beautiful story, and this is a beautiful concept to just listen and think, brainstorm, and build up something so beautiful. We'll be right back in just a moment. For you tuned in, Fifi, I don't know how you do it, you know? When it comes to weddings, I recently realized that every single time I get ready and I go for an event, as soon as I get there, I honestly forget to make content. Even to take myself a picture, the whole time I'm just my event thing, wait to kill every single thing. So I want to hear from you, how do you balance being present on such an emotionally charged day while still ensuring you capture raw, authentic moments that truly reflect the couple's story like you mentioned?
Absolutely. Do you know what? I feel like the reason a couple hires me is because they want their guests to be present, and they also want to be present. So a lot of the time when a bride has hired a content creator, they'll have a no phone policy, especially during their ceremony. Brides really want you to look at them. Get off your phone.
Honestly.
You know? So they don't want to be walking down the aisle and everybody's like, like fighting to get a snap of them. It takes away from the moment. And they really want people to be in the moment. So I feel like I need to be present and capturing the content so that people can be present and enjoying the moment, because the moment's already captured for you. So if people could not worry too much about that and let me focus on that, then and it is a very emotionally charged day. I'm glad somebody said it. It's a very emotionally charged day, but I feel like I don't believe in the concept of a bridezilla. I feel like people be poking the bear. And, you know, let's just let brides be. I want brides should be as hands-free as possible. So there's a lot of people, as time goes on and as like the industry evolves, there's new kinds of vendors every day. There's a bride assistant, there's a wedding day content creator, there's somebody for everything, so that the bride can just focus on getting married, and she doesn't even have to focus on looking good because she's hired the best team for that. So the reason people hire a wedding day content creator, I think, is because they take being present very seriously for them and for their guests.
I like that. Have you ever got hired at a close relative's wedding, or a close friend, where you honestly had to talk yourself into balancing work and, you know, feeling what you're feeling for your loved one?
Oh man, those are the toughest weddings to do. I don't want to lie, because you're my friend and I want to be happy, but at the same time, I need to get this content for you. Yeah, I have. I don't know if I do it again. I don't want to lie.
That's
because,
real.
do you know what? When you're working and having fun at the same time, or not having, because I'm always having fun doing my job, but when you're working and trying to be a friend at the same time, one of the two is gonna suffer. Whether it's the friendship element of, oh, you know, I wasn't there to help you fluff out your dress at some point because I was taking a video, you know? So one of the two is always gonna suffer. But yeah, I say to my friends all the time, I'm training my team so that someone can do it for you. Someone on my team can do it for you, and I can just be your friend that day. And yeah, people keep pressurizing their friends to do content for them. Get a content creator, because to be honest, your friend won't like, they love you, but they might not have that skill, like, and that's okay.
And the angles you want. I had a surprise party done for me last weekend. The whole time I'm like, is anybody making content? Like, are the intros giving?
Called me.
They should have. They should have planned with you. Now, I like that you mentioned team. Now, before we get to the team, I just want to appreciate your childhood, your upbringing. What happened at what time or point of your life that could have inspired the woman that you are today, you know, the pioneer you are today in what you do?
Wow, that's such a beautiful question. No one's ever asked me that. I think the reason and the reason I am the person that I am is mostly because of my mom. My mom is like, and I know everybody says their mom is the best mom, but guys, I really think mine, I promise you, mine. So my mom's a teacher, and she works with children all day, every day, and she really understands the importance of allowing a child to develop what their skill and what God has given them as their natural talent, right? And so my mom's always said to me, people think, oh, because she's a science teacher, she's going to be all like, oh, you have to do A, B, C, and D. But I was done with Form 5 and I was like, oh, maybe I should be I want to be a clinical psychologist, I think I wanted to be. Or like, at some point I considered being a lawyer. And she was like, Fifi, don't do something because you feel like you have to do it. And I didn't pay all the school fees for you to be boring. I need you to do what you want to do. I need you to follow your heart and like do what you want to do. I don't want you to end up in a career one day and feel like, how did I end up here? So my mom's always really preached being very, 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 very intentional. And my dad passed away when I was 8, but I remember very clearly one day saying to him, I was like, Dad, like, do I have to do... God, I hated maths. I said, Dad, do I have to be good at maths in order to be a chef? He said to me, listen, sweetheart, you can do whatever you want, but whatever it is you decide you want to be, make sure you're the best at it and do what it takes to be the best at it. So if they need you to do maths at chef school, get on your Zoom, like be very good at that thing. And so I think that also kind of ingrained in my mind that I can do anything I want to do, to be honest. And I carry that in everything that I do. I don't think I can't achieve any of my goals, to be honest. And that's why I can wake up one day and say, you know what, maybe I wouldn't be a content creator. What is that? I don't know yet. We're gonna figure it out, and I will. So I think, my mom, my parents kept me very grounded and while still believing in myself delusionally. So
I love that. Dad, are you listening? Luhle's father. If he's not listening, somebody record it. Hey, my dad still sends me links even up to today to apply to be a she officer. I graduated. Isn't that enough?
Oh my gosh, he better hear this.
He's not bothered. By end of the day, he's sending another link. I really want to be a star one of that man.
Really?
No.
I'll have a word with him.
Please do. Masana link what you do or creative sector is growing, Dad. Now, Fifi, you know, speaking of creative sector growing, your business has grown as well. And you mentioned having a team. So you have a team?
I do.
So, a boss lady like that. Hey?
You know what? It was the scariest thing, thinking that, oh my God, I'm about to employ someone. Like, are you crazy? You want me to be your boss? But honestly, it's been incredible, especially because, again, I had to think about my why. And I knew that it was very important for me to create good financial opportunities for women across Africa. And I couldn't do that on my own, to be honest. I need content creators, women content creators all around Africa to train and to have them be able to do what I do when I'm not in that country. I don't think a business serves a purpose if I really wanted to be able to build something that like I'm saying, many people everywhere can benefit from. I don't want it to be a local business. I want it to be a Pan-African business.
Very smart. Now, with social media platforms shifting so quickly, how do you keep Aisle Files fresh, relevant, and ahead of the curve?
I think having a team and having a young team at that, and I'm pretty young, but like sometimes I get creative but I think having a team, especially one that is like, there's like, for example, I have Timmy in Nigeria. She'll see something on her algorithm that might have popped up on my algorithm. And even with like trendy stuff, like I find West Africa seems to be getting onto things quicker than we do. So imagine if I sat and waited for things to become a trend here, I wouldn't really ever be ahead of the curve. But more so, we also try to like create our own trends. Like we always say, like we try to encourage our brides, like when they send us like a video, we'll be like, okay, let's not do, that's been done by somebody else. Let's try to do something. Like, you know, the My Fiance trend. My fiance, yeah. Oh my God. Wrap it up, guys. There's so many other things that you can do, and it's like, again, because you're not engaging a content creator who doesn't have a team to speak to and bounce ideas off of, you're only limited to what you have access to, which is just your algorithm or your circle of friends, and you're doing yourself such an injustice. Your wedding is the most expensive day of your life. Like, really take that process seriously and try to get the most out of it, I think.
I love that. Now, you often speak about creating safe spaces for women in the creative industry. What challenges have you personally faced in the space, you know, that have probably influenced the leadership style that you're using right now?
Challenges with men. Do you know what? I think in as much as we're progressing, there is some men who are still a bit backwards and who create very uncomfortable working environments for women. And I have been in a situation like that when I was much young. I was probably 21. This was my first big girl job at an agency, and I just remember this guy he generally made weird, like, sexual remarks towards everyone in the office. But I always felt like, I feel like you're doing more to me because I'm young, And I also didn't complain about it because I didn't want my employer at the time to feel like, oh, emergency, So I kind of sat on it, and I knew that, I'm not going to be here forever, and one day I'll create my own company and my own legacy where I protect women and I prioritize protecting women and respecting women and creating a safe space for them. So yeah, I also think putting money in a woman's pocket is nice. I like to pay women. I love it.
I love it. I like that. Now, for somebody who, earlier on you mentioned about it, on these days, every single day, there is just an opportunity for somebody. I mean, we started with Manyalo Bata, Mewade Kohela. Next thing, we don't even cook. We're hiring chefs. Next thing, Harasa Itasadi lip gloss, there is a makeup artist. Next thing, Harasa Diradi Puff Jelly Clay, there is a hairdresser. Every single day there's an opportunity. Now, what advice would you give to somebody who's thinking, I came up with an idea that I see it's lacking in making somebody's day beautiful, but they have this fear holding them back, or whatever reason that's holding them back? It could be doubt, self-doubt, or just feeling like the community I'm within, they don't appreciate my ideas, so I don't feel validated enough to implement them. What advice would you give them?
Absolutely. I think your biggest enemy when you start a business is yourself sometimes. So you doubting yourself, you feeling like you're inadequate, having imposter syndrome, it's definitely normal. But I feel like once you allow that to win, God forbid you die tomorrow, we have to bury you with the sadness that we bury you with your dreams. Whereas if you've lived out your life to the max, it's like, And so I feel if somebody has an idea, sitting on it will only hurt you. And I think I'm very religious, so I think when God puts an idea in your mind, it's not by coincidence. And have you noticed that whenever you have an idea and then you don't act on it, very soon you're gonna see somebody else do that, and you're like, oh, I had this idea first, actually in 5 years ago I had this idea, and I knew there's a reason you're the one who's seeing that person do that thing that you didn't do. I really think God's doing that to show you that could have been so you. Real. No, seriously. So I would have hated to, God forbid, pass away, and my friends know Fifi would have wanted to be a wedding day content. She could have been the best wedding content creator. She could have hired content creators all around Africa. It all could have been she could have, but she didn't. Yeah. I don't want to mess around and find out.
I like that. I do want to mess around and find out how my wedding will be without Fifi. I'm sorry, no thanks to my future husband, baby. I'm just waiting on your finances because I find all the service providers we need for the day.
Absolutely. Run it up, babe.
So Fifi, one last thing, right? I don't know about other countries. I mean, you started the wedding day content creation in South Africa, and the reception is amazing, and now you have grown into other different countries. But we currently still have lack of information, and even when with information we have a little bit of room for too much ignorance in BW, where we just don't appreciate or understand in detail what content creation is. You'd find kids, that's all they want to do at school, but parents are a bit skeptical, but because they don't understand what is going on. Maybe take us through where you see the future your content creation going. Take into consideration that just before you became a wedding content creator, you did film, you worked at an agency, you appreciated digital creation, content creation as a whole, and you came up with a solid team.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I think both for parents and for children wanting to venture into creative spaces, everybody needs to be a bit more open-minded about things. So don't just look at it like, oh, my child is just, gonna be posting outfit of the days every day on Instagram. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's so much more you can do with that. I mean, I have a personal brand of my own, and I do create content for myself as and when, right? But I used that skill to be able to give that to other people. So it started with me just shooting weddings for people, right? BTS content for people at their weddings. Because I mean, I'm not going to get married 100 times. But that's then moved on to celebrities saying, hey, can you come do BTS of my day? Can you vlog my day for me? Because at the end of the day, it is a skill. And you have the skill that someone doesn't have. And so if someone doesn't have that skill, they'll pay for it. That's why I always say to people that don't do free work. Don't do free work for anybody, because everything that you are and everything that you are able to do, you're able to do it, and someone is asking you for it because they can't do it themselves. You'll take for granted how much holding a phone and shooting, whether it's someone's day or is something that's so valuable. And I think brands in other countries are starting to recognize that more and appreciating the importance of authentic storytelling. So I just think if everybody appreciates authenticity for what it is, it becomes common sense to monetize it. And I know monetizing your art in Botswana sometimes is not very easy, but then, like I said, do something else. If you're an influencer and you're realizing that these brand managers aren't really hiring at me like that, but you're so good at shooting vlogs, do it for somebody else. Go find the content creator who everybody's booking and say, hey, can I shoot your next day in the life for you? Because that person will pay you for it. So don't look for money where everybody's looking for money, because there's a lot of money. You need to look for it. Yeah, I think you need to
and position yourself worthy to receive it.
Absolutely. And don't be shy.
I like that.
Shyness is a crippling disease. If you learn nothing from me today, shyness is a crippling disease. Like, you have to learn to jump over that hurdle, because that's the difference between you and the person who gets it. Yeah.
Now, for somebody who is tuned in and they're in wherever they are in Africa, they're thinking, oh my goodness, she's saying she's not limited to South Africa only. Where could they contact you?
We're available at Isle Files everywhere. So it's Isle_files, like the aisle you walk down the wedding.
I like
the files that I sent to you. Thanks.
Oh, so the files, because I got the aisle part. I didn't get the files part.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm sending you files from the aisle.
There we go.
I like it. I already have a caption for when I hire you.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm letting everybody know who this is.
I love that. Yeah, so that's where the name Al Files comes from. Yeah.
Alrighty.
So we're available on social media at Al Files. We have a booking link in all of our social media. So yeah, I'm available there.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Fifi. Anything we should look out for? Are you going to be expanding Al Files anytime soon? What's going on?
So expansion is definitely on the cards. I'm always actively looking for the best talent. So I really, really, really want content creators again all over Africa. I'd love some in Botswana. I really think, even with Botswana, I really would like to shoot more weddings in Botswana. I think sometimes I feel like, I don't know where that comes from, but it is. I feel like it's a very affordable service for what we're giving you. I mean, even if you feel like, I'm separating with this amount of money, let me tell you, by the time I send you those, you have them for the rest of your life. Memories live on forever. So I think prioritizing that and making sure you hold on to that as much as possible.
And I like that earlier on, as much as we were talking about you content creating for weddings, earlier on you mentioned working with celebrities. How has that been? I mean, I have a friend called Kat. I don't know why Kat is not here. The first time you worked with Mathambo, Kat is like, did you know Fifi is... I'm like, no, Fifi is the wedding creator. Like, is Mathambo getting married? She's like, no. Fifi is working with Mathambo. How was that?
Oh, wow. News spreads very quickly in
Gabs. Oh, shame, they do. All of us.
Do you know what? Mathambo takes herself very seriously, and she operates at a very high level. And so even when she hires you, first of all, it's like, you're honored, because it's like, I know how seriously this person takes herself. But then once you're in like the working environment, you realize just how much better you need to be, and how much she makes you want to constantly evolve. And yeah, it's good. It's good, and we get along very well. She's not a girl like me, so yeah, I get along very well. But I need emphasis on it's not something that I think anyone can do. I think it's a high pressure working environment from the minute you start working till you stop working.
You stop working.
Yeah, so I think working working with celebrities, sometimes people like romanticize and think it's just going to be a fun time. She's not your friend at the end of the day. You're at work. So yeah, and she really like, I like working with her so much. I think she really gets the best out of me. And yeah.
I like that you're such a girlies girl, because you're girls with Mihlali as well. And you're girls with Anita as well.
Yes,
Another young one. You know?
Yes.
And I was like, I really like how you're such a girlies girl,
Yes.
you know, with all these celebrities from South Africa, from Botswana, whatever they do in their respective creative field, you're such a girlies girly. What are the challenges that you come across working with celebrities? It's not the same as Komanyalong, you know, but what are the challenges that you come across celebrities in that field?
Honestly, I think I view, like, when I view a celebrity, I look at them like, oh, this is a human being at the end of the day. And so I think it's just trying to remain present and remembering that this person's a human being at the end of the day, and trying to treat them and respect them and handle them the way, you know, you would any other human being. I think sometimes people feel like celebrities are sabato and you can just sort of like do or say whatever about them or around them. So I just think like protecting them, I don't think that's difficult, but sometimes when it's like, you know, there's like a lot of pressure on the situation, sometimes I see people kind of buckle, and now they start telling people that person's business or whatever. First of all, lame. But yeah, just really protecting them as much as possible. I think remembering at the end of the day that they're a human being just like you and me.
Our files is going global, you know, it's going everywhere. Who's that one celebrity that you like to work with?
Oh, Annelem Doda.
Oh, I feel you.
Annelem Doda's getting married this year. I don't know where, one guy. I have no idea. But you know what? I slept on myself. I was at a restaurant once and I saw her with her partner and I wanted to go and say hi.
And you didn't?
Do you know what? I'm so ashamed of myself because I preach to everybody
confidence.
That, like, yeah, go. I just kept thinking, you know what? Like, I feel like it's invasive. They look like they're on a date. Yeah. I don't know. I beat myself about that a lot, but her wedding hasn't happened yet, so it's not too late.
Also, you know where she works. Go knock.
I think so.
And you know the time she's on air.
Go knock. No, I really think so. I will wake up that early because I know she has like a morning. I will. There's very little things I won't do for work, like to open up a door for myself. I'm a shooter of shots.
I love that.
I am a shooter of shots, so I will. From my mouth to God's ears.
Amen, girl. If there's one thing that I learned from conversing with you today is that, you know what, for as long as you have that dream and that thought, you definitely have a reason to go for it, to push, because the sky's not even the limit.
Period.
I mean, I was on a flight for the first time last year, and the whole time we're up there, I'm like, they say the sky's the limit. I don't feel limited. That means you can still push, you know. I don't even feel like the sky's the limit at all. So thank you so much for honoring the invite, Fifi. You're doing amazing. You're such an inspiration, and it's always an amazing time to see a Motswana girl doing amazing out there. It's always beautiful to see you come back home and still, you know, carry the same aura of love and energy that you had when you left to go follow your dreams. We highly appreciate you. Wish you nothing short of the blessed best in your business as well as your employees. May they receive the same grace you carry.
Amen. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I love being home. I'll be back anytime.
For my wedding, that's for sure. Bye, Fifi.
Bye.